Chapter 27. Rust, Ruin, and Russian Hospitality. The ninth house had gone dormant. Not defeated, not disbanded, simply waiting. Patch 4.4 loomed on the horizon like a promised dawn, and the crew had collectively agreed that until that day arrived, they would not subject themselves to the exquisite misery that was post 4.3 Star Citizen. Glitches, gear losses, ships refusing to spawn, hangars swallowing vehicles. It was all simply too much. Except for Nick. Nick, stubborn as an asteroid and twice as dense, remained behind in the Star Citizen universe, insisting he had works of great technical genius underway. This consisted mostly of swearing at panels inside his ship that mysteriously detached themselves whenever he touched them, rebuilding Kate's infamous neon-pink cat-eared armor helmet into what he now called the Kitty Mark II, blaming every failure on lag while his eye twitched like a dying firefly. "Let me know," he said over comms, "when you all want to come back to the proper galaxy." Kate cut the channel mid-wink. The Ark Raiders' migration. For the rest of the crew, the break manifested as a dimensional hop to another universe entirely. Ark Raiders. And what a universe it was. Ruined Earth, buried under rust, rubble, and the steel feet of murderous automatons. Fuji, Kate, Graham, and Dimitri materialized in the subterranean hub tunnels beneath what was once North America. Thick concrete, flickering lights, rats the size of terriers, automated speakers repeated garbled propaganda from a long-dead regime. It felt oddly comforting. "Better than Orison," Kate muttered. Fuji nodded, adjusting his scavenged ballistic rifle. "At least here, gravity works." Surface runs. Surface runs in Ark Raiders were simple in theory. Go up, loot stuff, do not die. But the bots made that difficult. Leaping spider drones shrieked across rooftops. Armored bipeds patrolled highways once used for family vacations. Flying hunter kites circled the plains, dipping low enough to harvest careless survivors. The biggest threat, however, was other humans. The Mad Russians' new playground. To everyone's shock, Dimitri, agent of chaos, pirate of the ninth house, artistic stabber, proved to be surprisingly diplomatic at first. He walked toward strangers waving, calling out cheerfully, "Hello, my friends. We come in peace. We do not steal your loot, ahaha, not unless you ask for trouble." Fuji and Kate exchanged looks. Graham, still learning the jump key, accidentally vaulted into a ditch. But Dimitri's friendliness lasted only until someone shot at the squad. The moment a stray bullet pinged off Kate's shoulder plate, Dimitri's entire demeanor shifted. His voice changed an octave, or rather, several octaves, because he activated the in-game voice changer. Suddenly, he sounded like a slightly unhinged femme fatale in his Russian accent. "Oh," he purred. "You think this is your loot? I do not think it is, my man. I do not think it is." And then he opened fire with the gleeful energy of someone recreating Xenia Onatopp scenes from GoldenEye, but with more laughter and significantly more ammunition, all the while shouting, "I don't think it is your loot, my man, ha 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 ha." Kate and Fuji, the steady ones. Kate and Fuji moved the way they always had, carefully, methodically, communicating in clipped tactical shorthand. They skirted around other raiding groups. They used rooftops, ravines, and radio static as cover. Kate sniped with icy precision. Fuji moved like a ghost. The two of them formed the calm center of the hurricane, which made the Dimitri and Graham combo even more of a chaotic orbit. Graham, the late arrival. True to form, Graham arrived late to the first several expeditions. Kate spotted his avatar spawning into the underground bunker walls, literally inside them. "You all right there, Graham?" she asked. His voice came over comms, cheerful as ever. "I appear to be embedded in a structural element." Dimitri wheezed. "Is good place for ambush. You wait. Enemy walks by. You surprise them. Tactical genius." Graham eventually extricated himself only by respawning. Once on the surface, he demonstrated an uncanny ability to miss ladders, walk directly into enemy patrols Fuji had marked in bright red, forget that fall damage existed, and mistake Dimitri's crosshair laser for a friendly torch signal. Kate watched him with silent disbelief. "This must be," she murmured to Fuji, "what it feels like to play with Nick." Fuji's sigh was the sound of a man remembering past traumas. The new normal for now. For a brief moment in time, the ninth house were no longer spaces, smugglers, mercenaries, or accidental ship destroyers. They were scavengers, survivors, raiders of another world entirely. Nick remained a ghost back in Star Citizen, tinkering, repairing, muttering, winking, and somehow still breaking things, even in a universe all by himself. But the others, they adapted. They thrived. They created chaos, comedy, and more than a few new enemies. It was not quite home, but it was a good holiday. And when patch 4.4 finally dropped, the galaxy would be theirs again.